I'm Dr. Anand from the Department of Associate Professor in the Department of Information Technology from KCG College of Technology. I would like to invite our chief guest, Dr. T. Russo. Welcome, Mr. Russo. Sorry, Dr. Russo. Actually, he has completed doctorate from Anna University, Chennai in the year of 2015. He has completed ME in Computer Science and Engineering from Crescent Engineering College in the year of 2007, and he have the lot of research experience in the real time in the field of computer network protocol and multimedia networks, application layer, overlay multicast, and multi-party video conference. He have published a lot of conference and journal papers. Also, he was working in IIT Madras from 2008 to 2011 as a project associate under Professor S.P. Raghavan, Scientific Secretary, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. He has developed the multi-party video conference tool for smart and the titled Smart and Secure Environment Research Consortium funded by the National Technical Research Organization, Government of India, New Delhi, which is used to connect the 8 institutions across Tamil Nadu, India, namely IIT Madras and NIT Tiruchirappalli, College of Engineering Dindi, and Pondicherry University, and PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore, Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai, Madurai Kamarajar University, and Alagappa University, Karaikudi. Through through VPN network, it is now running 24/7 basis. He has developed design of the national knowledge network connectivity to connect all the institutions across India and demonstrated to Honorable President of India on 2008. Okay. Once again, I welcome Dr. T. Russo and welcome our participant to getting knowledge in the security in the IT infrastructure. I hope that you can get a lot of research idea in the field of IT infrastructure, how to secure the environment. Okay, once again, welcome Dr. T. Russo and our participant. I over to session, Dr. T. Russo.
Thank you, Anand. I would like to thank the management of KCG College of Technology. And this is a good initiative done by the Department of Information and Technology. AICTE and CSI sponsored online short-term training program. It's a good initiative. So I'd like to thank the principal, HOD, faculty members, and the organizer. Uh, there is a commitment for studying the new technologies. It's a kind of AI related, artificial intelligence related, and blockchain technology. Okay, so the topic is machine learning adoption. I'll share my screen. Okay. Machine learning adoption in blockchain based security applications. There are a lot of security applications we are using. Uh, so as of now, security applications are there in um, software companies, government organization. It's a need. Security applications is very much need to monitor, to log the your activities. So the current security is not enough for maintaining the organization, uh, companies like software companies, the National Technical Research Organization. So we need some more algorithm in addition to the security mechanism. Machine learning and blockchain are used to enhance the security for providing a good service, secured service. Introduction. In the recent years, emergence of blockchain technology has become a unique, most disruptive and trending technology. The decentralized database in um, blockchain technology emphasize data security and privacy. I think here students, faculties, researchers are here. This is the session to understand the concepts, understand the challenges, understand the issues. You can take it for your research. So definitely this lecture motivates to do the research using the blockchain technology and machine learning. Most of the researchers have been used machine learning algorithms so far. So this is the session. Along with the machine learning algorithm, you can add the blockchain for improving the security. Okay, the traditional security is not enough for providing the good um, and secured service. So that is why we go for the blockchain and machine learning. So in this session, we will see about the blockchain technology as well as the machine learning algorithm and few the security applications, how it is going to be used, what is the um, theory in the security applications. We'll see some examples. It makes sure that the data is secured and legitimate. So blockchain technology definitely makes sure that the data is secured and legitimate. Still, it raises a new security issues. Majority attacks, double spending attacks. So double spending means digital currency can be spent twice. That's very important. Okay, should not be used, should not be spent twice. To overcome the issue, to overcome the aforementioned issues, data analytics is required on blockchain-based secure data. So analytics coming into the picture. What kind of analytics we can do? Machine learning algorithms are there for doing the analytics. So machine learning algorithm involves the rational amount of data to make a precise decision. So to make a decision through various analysis, we are using the machine learning algorithm. Data reliability and its sharing are very crucial in machine learning to improve the accuracy of results. So to get a perfect accurate result, we need a machine learning algorithm along with uh, the blockchain technology. There are various traditional machine learning techniques. For example, support vector machine, clustering, bagging, and deep learning algorithms such as convolutional neural networks. Long short-term memory can be used to analyze the attacks on the blockchain network. So here, variety of algorithms, you can choose any algorithm you can apply in the blockchain network. It's a blockchain network is not a physical network. It created by the logical structure. For example, there are different databases around the cloud, around the network. How the databases connected with one another, that is important. When there is an update in one place, that should be reflected in another place also. Okay, so consistency should be maintained. For that, we need a connectivity between the two databases. So blockchain is a concept is used to maintain the consistency across the distributed databases or distributed systems. Both the technologies can be applied in several smart applications such as unmanned aerial vehicle UAV, smart grid, healthcare, and smart cities. These applications are distributed application. When you talk about distributed, it's very difficult to manage. It's very difficult to produce the security over there. So we need some connectivity between the applications systems. The connectivity is established by the blockchain network, blockchain concept, and some analysis over there. We need some analysis over there. So that is why we are going to study the machine learning algorithm. Machine learning algorithm will be applied in this distributed kind of technology. Machine learning is the field of study that focus on building the application that learn through experience. So analytics are, analytics. So is a kind of learning the behavior, learning the operation, learning the service, and based on that the decision will be taken. So it's a kind of experience, learn through experience. Machine learning encompasses its work from the diverse set of disciplines, including the philosophy, information theory, probability, and statistics, control theory, psychology, and neurobiology, computational complexity, and artificial intelligence. So, a lot of knowledge, a lot of philosophy, a lot of theories, mathematics are involved in the machine learning algorithm. So that is why we prefer the machine learning algorithm. There are several machine learning algorithms such as supervised machine learning, semi-supervised machine learning, and unsupervised machine learning. Supervised machine learning uses the statistical model to predict the output in numerical data and classify the correct label. So the supervised learning, unsupervised learning. So supervised learning, you will have a structured data. You have a structured data. From that, you'll get a output. Labels are defined, but in unsupervised learning, it's not like that. So it's a different types of data will be there. From that, you have to group it. Okay, data samples are grouped in the form of clusters, and depending on the clusters, the similarity, you have to find out the similarity between the cluster and dissimilarity using the different approach. We have to apply the different approach, and from that we have to find the decisions, rules. You have to apply the rules. For that, you have algorithm k means cluster algorithm for finding out the clusters, and from that you will take a decision, applying the different rules, and you will get the decision. Semi supervised machine learning algorithm is also a category of interest. It involves mixture of the supervised and unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So the different types of machine learning algorithm is going to be applied in the to give us a better security mechanism. Now we will talk about the blockchain. Blockchains are an immutable set of records, cannot be changed. Immutable means cannot be changed. Set of records that are cryptographically linked together for audit. Okay, like I said, one record is linked with the another record. Like for example, one database is linked with another database. One system, one application is linked with another application. There is a link between two parties. It is similar to accounting ledger. So everywhere the ledger is the example. One ledger is linked with another ledger. The continuity update one, if there is update in one place, it should be reflected in another also. So the update it's a immutable record. You cannot change the record. Okay. Here previous records in the accounting ledger cannot be changed. Once the ledger is ready, ledger is completed, then it won't be changed, cannot be changed. And the new records needs to be verified by the trusted parties. There are variety of parties, the trusted parties are there, okay, for authenticating, for auditing, for verifications. The only difference between these two is that a new block set of records checked by the decentralized structure of the nodes that have a copy of ledger. Okay, here node or representing is another system which is placed in somewhere. Okay, the copy of records, copy of structure is there every places. Okay, it's a decentralized structure of nodes that have the copy of ledger. There is no centralized party to verify the record. There is no, here there is no centralized party. Okay, it's all distributed things. Then how do you ensure that whether any update is there in any place? So that is the challenge. So blockchain is formed by a linking of valid blocks together. The current block contains the hash value of the previous block. The hash value will be generated by the SHA algorithm. Okay, this is an example blockchain structure. So logically, we have created the researchers have been created this structure. It's not a physical one. Okay, so like for example, it will be called it as a design patterns. Okay, how should be? It's a standard best practice. Okay, one system, how the one system is connected with the another system. So one system means one database or one application has the block hash value. Okay, so hash value means um, the digested value. Okay, either it may be 1024 bits or 512 bits. Okay, that using the SHA algorithm, the hash value will be generated. It identifies that which blocks, okay, and what are the structure, what is the structure is being followed in the block one, every block, and a block header is there, timestamp, difficulty, a previous block hash, nuns, marquee root. So it's a logical structure. You can change the structure or you can use the same structure uh, as you want. It is being used for a transaction purpose. Okay. we will see the explanation about the this structure. Older blocks cannot be modified, so that is the important point in this pattern. Okay. In case is there any change in any way, their hash would be changed. So the you'll find out what is the importance of the hash value. Okay, so if any hash value, if any blockchain database is updated, then your hash value would be changed. So from that, you can identify that the something is changed in the database or system application. This emphasizes to link hash in all subsequent blocks to make the application, make the blockchain network valid again. Okay, so hash uh, hash code is mainly used for integrity. Okay, if any changes in the hash code, sorry, in the blockchain structure, it will be it won't it is a it saying that it is saying that it is a valid updation, valid block. Okay, so copy of blockchain is available with every individual within the network. Henceforth, any changes can be across verified by the another user. These copy of blockchains are updated with addition to the new blocks. So there are several there are copy. Okay, so whenever any update in the current block, there will be updated in the copy of the block also. So that is why that is the design principles introduced in the blockchain. Then everyone can see the block depending on the permission assigned by the administrator. Okay, like for example, the government organization, if the government organization uses the blockchain technology, for example, you have a property in multiple places. So properties will be maintained by the VAO, RI, Tahsildar. Okay, so if any property can be changed in any places, you can able to find out some message will be you will get the some message. Okay, so you can able to see the changes directly. If one person is changing your property for his name or the other name, the update will be reflected, and you can able to see the update, you can able to see the changes. Okay, so that concept is being used. So that will the blockchain will help you to change the update. Will you can able to see whether any places changes is made it or not. Blockchain technology uses a cryptographic secure hash algorithm. That's what I said. SHA algorithm is being used for creating the hash value. Okay, 512, 256, 1024, any number of bits can be used. So it's mainly for data integrity. Okay, within the block, each block has a unique hash value. For instance, there are different algorithms can be used. So is a SHA is a collision resistant algorithm where no two different inputs and data could produce the same output. Okay, so that is the advantage of the hash code and hash value. In Java, if you talk about the real scenario, if you are creating the two objects, and if you find out the hash value of two object, it won't be give a two, it won't be give a same hash value. Okay, it will produce the two different hash value. Like that, you assume that blockchain is not a physical one. Using classes, objects, you can establish the um, pattern, blockchain pattern in your programming also. Here, many students are here. You can, you find, you study just philosophy of study the philosophy of blockchain and apply in Java. Okay, in the object oriented programming, you can establish the blockchain structure, and you can uh, take a output and you can write a paper on this. Okay, so don't think about it's a, physical structure and you need a infrastructure for that. Don't think like that. Okay, so find out the study the philosophy of a blockchain and create a program, try to execute and try to get the output whatever you want, and make it as a paper and present it. Okay, now we will see the integration of machine learning algorithm in blockchain based application. So how to integrate machine learning and blockchain? Okay, the learning capabilities of machine learning can be applied to blockchain based application to make them smarter. 1 minute. Okay, so to create a smart application, you are using the machine learning and a blockchain technology, blockchain techniques. Okay, by using machine learning, security of distributed ledger may be improved. So but in this survey, literature survey, machine learning is used for improving the security in the distributed ledger. Okay, so machine learning may also used to enhance the time taken to reach the consensus of the building better data sharing routes. Further, it increases the opportunity to build better models by taking the advantage of the decentralized architecture of the BT. You just see the diagram, blockchain diagram, and you will understand that where analytics is used, where your application is there, and how the links between the analytics and blockchain to applications. Okay, here many students uses the sensors, smartphones, internet of things. It's a kind of input data. Okay, sensor, what is mean by sensor? Is getting the input and processing. uh, so sensor always is the input device. Okay, so it gets the inputs from the society and given to the blockchain network, and the machine learning algorithm is being involved on the blockchain model, and the users uh, will access the blockchain network. Okay, Here user 1 to user n are banking customers, or the database, okay, is going to be used. So if you are going to access the database, then you are your user. So the users are going to access the blockchain network. Blockchain is connecting two ends. One end is the uh, sensors, smart applications. The other end is the machine learning models. So blockchain will combine, uh, will get the input from the sensor application as well as the machine learning algorithm. So then it will produce the good results. So security is there is there in the blockchain network. Okay, you can apply in different applications. There are different applications. In this session we'll see security applications are there. Machine learning and blockchain based a smart application. Okay, so mainly IoT applications are treated as the smart applications because it has a sensors. Okay, so using that it collects the data from the different parts of the society. So and also the data will be processed and send it to the blockchain network, and blockchain network uses the machine learning algorithm and will decide the decisions. Okay, so there are three components being used here: um, sensors, blockchain technology network, and machine learning algorithm. This concept um, reduces the errors in the data, in the duplications, missing data, value errors. Okay, so there are errors, so many errors are there, that will be reduced. The duplications will be reduced, missing data will be reduced, errors will be reduced, and noise will be reduced. Okay, so you can apply in different applications. Blockchains are focused on the data, and hence data related issues is eliminated. So both machine learning and blockchain technology eliminates the data related issues, and machine learning models can be based on the specific segments of the chain rather than the entire data set. This could give the custom model for the different applications. Okay, so fraud detection, identity theft detections, some major security applications is solved by the machine learning and the blockchain. So we'll see the benefits of machine learning algorithm. User authentication as the legitimate user. For to find the legitimate user, you need a machine learning algorithm. Okay, and it provides BT provides the high level security and trust. Blockchain integrates public machine learning models into the smart contracts to ensure that the condition that terms which were previously agreed or sustained. BT helps in it actually combination of machine learning and the blockchain technology helps in the reliable implementation of the incentive based systems, encourages the users customers to contribute the data. This huge data will helps to improve the machine learning model. Okay, so live data will be collected through the customers. The social network. There are some research scholars or faculty students. I mean, try to collect the data from the social website, right? Then you will apply the machine learning algorithm, and you will take the decisions accordingly. So this that is uh, the single point you are collecting the data. If you collect the multiple places, then it is you can apply the um, blockchain, and you can integrate the blockchain also. Machine learning model can be updated on the blockchain environment with a small free and off-chain locally and individual device without any cost. Students, you can create a blockchain technology in your own system. Okay. So first you can test it in your own system offline, then you can apply for the distributed network. Good data contributions can happen from user, customer. These data consistency computed and rewarded can be given to the user. There are a lot of benefits. Okay, tamper proof. A smart contract can be evaluated by the different machines. Okay, mainly it uses the payment related applications. Okay, so blockchain tools, for instance, deal with thousands of decentralized machines all over the world. This guarantee users that it is never completely unreliable, unreachable offline. Just see the anatomy of the machine learning adoption in blockchain based smart application. So we grouped into four layers: goal oriented, layer oriented, countermeasures, smart applications. Okay. Goal oriented means detection, monitoring, prediction, response, prevention. For this purpose, your application is going to be used. Layer. There are different layers in your applications. Application layer, endpoint, process, and user. And countermeasures, analytically or real time. There are variety of applications being involved: customer service, service personalization, unmanned aerial vehicle, data trending, smart cities, energy and utilities. Okay. There are variety of smart applications: unmanned aerial vehicle, smart cities, product manufacturing, device personalization, utilities, customer service, data trending. Future research issue and challenges. Okay. So researchers, can you take this uh, issues and challenges for your further research? Sustainability, infrastructure, memory, implementation, security, quantum resilience, privacy, research challenges. So here, this is an example application: energy trading system, where the blockchain is being involved. Where the data are going to be collected. Okay, data collected from various devices, various engines, right? The wind power, it will produce some data. Thermal power, it produces some data. solar, it will produce some data. Okay, it collects, it maintains all the data, and here the machine learning algorithm will be applied, and it will take the appropriate decisions. So blockchain technology connects various data. There you are going to apply the machine learning algorithm. Okay, so before we go to the some example application, security related application, I'll just show some basic concepts. Okay, basic concept means program wise how you can create a blockchain technology and machine learning algorithm, where you will apply the machine learning algorithm. Some demo. Okay, so I'll take a half an hour demo. It's not uh, completely uh, um, standardized one, but as a student you can apply the machine learning algorithm and blockchain technology. Okay, so it's not a complete standard one. Okay, so you take any I'm going to demonstrate through Java only. Okay, first you take any IDE. So I'm going to take a Spring Tool Suite IDE. Okay, so I'll just show the demo and then you just watch, and then we will continue the remaining slide. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to create a blockchain network. So like I said, we are not going to use any standardized tools. I'm just telling you to um, create a blockchain network on your system through program. Okay, so it's a blockchain is a the concept. Okay, so the one program should be connected to another program. One class structure is connected to another class structure. So in the PPT we have seen this is the structure. Okay, those who are doing the C programming language, you can try it in on C programming also. If you are trying object oriented programming, you can try it on object oriented programming. Okay, any structure you have to create any structure. Structure 1 and structure 2, structure 3, and so on. One minute. Okay, so structure here we will call it as a class. For example, I'm creating an employee structure or student structure. you can make it as a transaction structure. Okay, database. If you want to connect with one database to another database, you can create like this. Okay. So in this um, design pattern, you have to create a hash value. Okay, I'm just telling you overall idea to create a blockchain network. And the same, sorry, yeah, the same class structure is being created in another network. Okay, or created using the another server. This is server 1. This is server 1. Assume that server 1, one program is running. Okay, and it uses one database, and it uses one database. So this is somewhat application, and this application uses the database, and this is running in one server. Similarly, the server 2 uses server 2 has another structure. Hash value. How there is a connectivity between server 1 and server 2? Could you able to imagine how there is a connection between server 1 and server 2? There is no physical connection, right? You cannot establish physical connection between this and this without centralized thing. For connecting these two server, you need a centralized one, right? There are multiple servers are running. How do you find the service? How do you find the server? The particular server. You need a centralized one, centralized server. But centralized server is not there in the blockchain network, right? The concept is there is no centralized server in the blockchain network. So it should not be used. This is not used. This is not used. So without that, how do you create a blockchain network using this hash value? This is what it is used to link between the two structure, even though if it is running in the two different server, right? So how do you establish this communication? Anybody, if you know, you can tell me, otherwise I'll just start my session. Can you imagine this example? Here many students and faculties research are here, right? Can you tell me how could you create this connectivity? Somebody may attend blockchain network session, right? So how do you create this connectivity? Anybody, can you able to tell me? Or chat window, can you able to type it chat window? Any participant? There are 46 participants are here. I just want to understand your knowledge, experience. You may get knowledge from many resource, many sites. okay, many sessions. How do you establish the connectivity between two blockchain? So I assume that this is one blockchain network and this is one network. Okay, so how do you make a connectivity between and this? So without uh, putting any cost, without spending any cost, infrastructure, I'm just um, demonstrating the blockchain network. For the there are a variety of things we'll say, right? Simulation, emulation, implementation. So the ad hoc networks and all, we cannot able to implement directly. So we will we one whether we can able to simulate or we can able to emulate. That in this pattern, I'm going to tell you that how to emulate this structure or how to simulate the blockchain structure. When you do this kind of basic things, then you will understand a lot. That is why I'm telling. Okay. Anybody, you have any idea? Did you learn any place to establish the blockchain network? Do you have any tools? Did you learn any tools? Then you can tell me. I'll just understand your knowledge on this. Okay. So far nobody has knowledge. I assume that the nobody has any tools to create the blockchain network. Okay, so server one, you have to create one server one, and you have to create a server two. How do you create a server? So the Spring Boot technology, Spring Boot framework is used to create multiple servers. Okay, how do you create a multiple server? I'll tell you how to create one server. Then you accordingly you can create multiple servers. Okay, go to the you go to the browser. Spring dot start dot spring dot io. You create one project, then I'll tell you automatically this project has the server. So it's a Maven and Java projects. Okay, Maven project is used to maintain the dependencies. Okay, why we need a Maven project? Why we need a Maven tool? Because nowadays the projects are dependent on the many jar files, many third parties libraries. All those things cannot be configured manually in Java. So that is why the Maven uh, is a tool. Okay, Maven concept. Maven is a tool which organize your all dependencies and creates a best environment for running your application. Okay, select Maven project, Java language, Spring Boot version can be chosen any version. I'm choosing the lower version. Artifact name is the your project name. Okay, server one. I'm going to create a server one. use Java 8 version, add dependency. You need a web dependency. So web dependency provides a server. Okay. And if you are going to connect with the MongoDB or any database base, you can choose NoSQL or SQL. I am going to use the NoSQL database. MongoDB database. Okay, so in this structure, database also we have to create along with this. Just click generate. It creates a one application and it uses the one server. Server 1. Just copy and put it in your project folder. And just extract it. And similarly, if you find out any machine learning algorithms as a dependency, no machine learning algorithm, right? Adopting machine learning algorithm in your microservices. So Amazon is providing the machine learning algorithm. Deep Java library. Okay, so it's a third-party library. You can, if you know any library supports Spring Boot, you can add in the dependencies like DJL. DJL. Okay. We'll find out through search. We can able to find out. There are algorithm will be there. Library AI algorithm will be there, and you can add as a dependency. So far, no. We'll find out later. Okay. So once this is extracted, you have to import in your IDE. So the IDE will be taken from Spring Tool Suite. So your project is going to be imported in the IDE. Then we can run and we can create one server. Based on this discussion, we'll create one server. Okay. Similarly, n number of servers can be created. And only thing, we have to create a link between one server to another server. So there is a possibility to create a link between one server to another server using the centralized thing. Okay, so that we'll call it as the microservices. We have seen in this search, we have seen, right? Microservices uses DJL. So microservices uses the centralized one. Microservices uses the centralized one. The Netflix is providing this providing to create the centralized infrastructure. Netflix providing the API, few API like Eureka API. Eureka Netflix API is used to create a centralized server. So the API name is the Eureka server and Eureka client. Okay. So Eureka server is used to create a centralized infrastructure, and every server can register in the Eureka server. So then if it is centralized one, then it is not a blockchain network. So blockchain network, the fundamental characteristics of the blockchain network is a distributed architecture. So this is not going to be used. Instead of this, we are creating the hash connectivity, hash value connectivity between this structure to this structure. That will be pointed uh, between two applications. Okay. Take the ID. So just import your application. Okay, so it is creating the Maven dependencies. Okay, Maven project is creating the dependencies in the POM file. So what is the POM file? I'll tell you once this is ready. Yeah, project is created. SRC main Java. Here you will write the program structure. Java main program is there. You can create a new package. Here you can write the hash connectivity. We'll see later. In the resource, you should connect the database. Okay, in the application.properties file, you have to mention the database connectivity like this. If you are going to connect with the MongoDB, then you have to write this configuration. Spring dot data MongoDB URI. The one line is used to connect your application into a MongoDB. This is a server one. Could you able to execute this server? Could you able to start your start this server? Yes. And one more file, the important file is a POM file. So the POM file has the dependencies. So this POM file is going to be built, organized by the Maven plugin. Okay. Maven plugin. So we have chosen two dependencies. One is the web dependency. The other one is the MongoDB dependency. So what is the dependency here? Jar files. So instead of typing set class path c colon some mongodb.exe, I'm just writing as a XML tag that will take care to download the jar file and setting up the class path. This web dependency is used to create a server. Now I am starting the server. Go to Maven, update your project. Then go to Maven clean. Then Maven install. So your jar file is ready and you can start your server. So you should get build success. So far I have not written any code inside this Spring Boot structure. I'm just creating the server. That's it. Spring Boot app. Okay. This is the server one. Started. Tomcat is started. Localhost colon 8080. No no service so far. No service. This is a display service. No service so far. So one server is started. Server one is started. How do I create another server? The same procedure should be followed. For demonstration purpose, I have different services with the different server. Say for example, um, the customer service. I'm just running the customer service. And product service. The product service. If you go and see the customer micro service, it uses the port number 8093. So server 1 uses the port number 8093 and server 2, that is the product Product uses 8091. Okay, so anyway, it's trying to register. I'm just checking whether the services are server are started or not. Just check how many servers are running. Server 1 is created by, in this session we have created customer a product. Just check customer with customer port number 80993, right? 8093 customers. Okay, so the customer service is running and it is displaying the data. It is taking the data from the database and displaying in the browser. This is one server. Similarly, the other server 8091 8091 localhost 8091, the product. Okay, so this is one server. This is running, both the servers are running in one machine, right? One machine. For example, instead of this localhost, I am keeping one domain name address or some IP address instead of localhost. I assume that this application is running in one cloud or one server, one machine, and this is running in one machine. Okay, so how do you make a connectivity between these two applications? Earlier, we had a TCP connectivity, right? TCP UDP connectivity in the layer 4. For a connection, to establish the connectivity between two process or two system, how it will be connected through program TCP connectivity. This every student, every faculties, every researchers knows that TCP connectivity. It's a layer 4. Layer 4 connectivity, and nowadays mostly we are not using the we don't have any knowledge on the lower level layers, right? We always need a HTTP. We always need a HTTP connectivity. We don't want the underlay layers. HTTP to HTTP connectivity. Layer 7. Because non-computer science persons uses the application layer. So that is why everyone prefer the same HTTP layer. Here sensors and all used different layers, that has different layers, right? The smart application uses the different protocol, and so as of the current infrastructure, we can able to create a link between the two parties using the HTTP protocol. Okay, so connectivity is should be established between the server 1 and server 2. Here, what it means, a class structure. Create a class structure in the server 1. So here in the product, I have a class. The structure is nothing but this is the structure, and this is the methods. Member, this is member functions. Okay, member variable. This is the structure. Product, for product I have the structure, and for customer I have a structure. So the structure is created, server is created, and how to create a hash value between those these two structure, that you have to establish. Okay, you can um, find out hash value for blockchain network. Okay, so simple Java provides the hash value between hash connectivity between this server 1 and server 2. You can make a connectivity between the two servers. Okay, you think you do some research over there as for the, this is for the students. Okay, this is not for the researchers, those who are doing some practice on uh, the blockchain network. You try it on your own. Okay, so this is just example I just refreshed, and I just given some idea how to create a multiple server and how to create a connectivity between the server and the server 1 and server 2. You do some research over there and try to create a blockchain structure on your system, and then you try to create some application and should be mapped with the whatever the philosophy there in the blockchain, just apply. Okay, now coming to the PPT, just for understanding purpose I have shown some demonstration. Now we'll see where there are variety of applications in the IT infrastructure, and government organization needs the security. Okay, security policy, to define the security policy, to define the security policy, we need analysis, machine learning approach to define the IT security policy, to enhance the decision making system for ethical um, technology, for define the computer ethics, to enhance the employment practices, policies, operations for production control, for email threats, email security. So for everywhere you need a policy. So policy, for making a policy making system, you need some analysis algorithm. Okay, just think about. Okay, it's a open-ended problem. Think about and try to apply and adopt. I'm just explaining the scenario. Okay, in the IT industry, um, you just catch up the knowledge and try to adopt the machine learning approach in this place. Okay, I'm not directly explaining the machine learning approach in this following scenario. You just understand and watch what is this, and can you could you able to adopt the machine learning algorithm as well as the uh, blockchain, because the organization is distributed, so security policies are also distributed. I just imagine whether you are able to adopt the analytics as well as the blockchain technology. Okay, security policy defines the rules that regulates how an organization manage and protects information and computing resource to achieve the security objective. So here there are two things are protected: resources and informations. Okay, so resources may be soft or uh, hard. Um, uh, so the informations will be soft. Okay, so information via email messages should be protected. For protecting, you need a security policy. So there are some security policy already in IT uh, um, department. So if you want to enhance the security policy, you can apply the machine learning algorithm and blockchain techniques technology. Okay, so where we can have the security policy for access control, accessing the infrastructure. Everywhere you have access control. Even the buildings is going to be accessed by the smart card, and your email is going to be accessed by the username and password, biometric systems, computer security policy. So computer is going to be accessed, the office computers, office machines, how it should be accessed by the employer, by the contractor. Okay, so that policy you have to define. Now the computers are accessed by the remote side, remote client. So how do you create a security policy? Only authorized person can able to access the computer. Okay, so what kind of um, analytics can able to adopt here to avoid the integrity? Okay, environmental design. How to create a protected environmental design? And information protection policy. How do you create a information protection policy using the machine learning algorithm? And information security policy, national security policy, photo identification, physical security, remote access policy, security engineering, user account policy. So it's all security policy. Try to figure out how machine learning approach could be used here. This is one of the example, access control. So border, in the border, when you enter, you have to authenticate it. So because you are going to access the land, okay, the resources inside the land. So you have to be authenticated either through biometrics. So there are variety of um, the techniques are there. Biometrics authentication. Uh, so it should be enhanced. It should be enhanced. So that is why we are using the machine learning approach. Computer security policy. To access the computer, so nowadays every employers employees using the US based systems, US based machine. Okay, so machines are shared through virtually. How do you provide the security? If somebody um, change the security policy in the system, or uh, doing malpractice on the system, how do you watch your activity? How do you watch the employee activity? So that should be enhanced. IT security policy stages, adoption of security policy, security risk analysis, development and implementation of information classification system, development and implementation of security standard manual, implementation of management security self-assessment process, ongoing security program maintenance and enforcement training, So training in the sense manual training, maybe manual training, or the computer aided training. Okay, so it's all should be enhanced. This process should be enhanced. The manual training should be enhanced. The system oriented training also should be enhanced. Okay, when you define the policy, you have to state that what is the scope, terms and definition, security policy, information security policy, a document should be considered. Okay, and organizational information protection, review and evaluate people. You have to think about the people, border security, people security, and its functions. Access rights, so what are the things should be accessed by each role. Okay, role based access rights should be given. Control and sensitivity assets, so assets should be classified. Okay, whether it is system, uh, system should have name, access control, information systems, accountability for assets, whether the system is has a owner or contractor should be classified and should be accountable. Information classification should be whether it is a public or confidential. People issues should be considered. Personal security, okay, background checking, security in job classification and resourcing, roles and responsibility, user training. These are the things should be created for the for automatic purpose. Okay, for making automation you need analytics. So that is why I'm telling the scenario where what are the things are doing, or what are the things are carried out keeping in the IT infrastructure. So all just imagine that where we can adopt the this machine learning and blockchain technology, the current scenario. Okay, physical for providing the physical protection, physical security, for building as well as building protection. Could you able to adopt the sensors, blockchain, and the machine learning for access control? Do you need any machine learning algorithm, or do you need the sensors devices? Okay, do you need the distributed algorithm, distributed technology, distributed architecture? Do you need for providing the access control? Just think about. Okay, intruder and fire detection service from the remote place. Could you able to find out whether any intruders are coming into the organization, or any fire detection? Could you able to detect the fire detect in your organization from the remote place, wherever you are sitting, from there itself could be able to sense all activity. So just imagine that. Okay, fire safety inspection, supervising or escorting the outside staff, visitors, entry regulations. These are all the activity in any organization. It's not like the computer IT related activity. It is also there in the governmental and non-government organization also. Fire protection, power supply, cabling, server room. Okay, protection against computer viruses. So virus makes uh, viruses playing a big role in any organization. Okay, it will be coming as either through mail or some way it is coming, and affecting the computer infrastructure. Okay, so for that, every URL should be authenticated. Identification of IT system potentially threatened by the computer viruses, and selection of the suitable computer virus scanning program. So you need a better scanning program, virus scanning program. Updating the computer viruses scanning program used, periodic run of the virus detection, checking of incoming data for macro viruses, reporting computer viruses infections, procedure in case of the computer viruses virus infections, use of virus scanning program, ethical decision making system. Okay, so here um, actions should be taken by collecting the information from the stakeholders, decision makers, contacts. So definitely you need analytics here, machine learning approach you need, and you should be evaluate and negotiate or impacts, and you can take the decisions here. Okay, pick optimal choice, pick optimal whatever feasibility, whatever it is a feasibility, you take a decision for taking the ethical decision making model. You need a machine learning approach. So if it is one place, then there is no need of the blockchain technology. If it is multiple places, then definitely you need a blockchain technology. Computer ethics. So how the computer is going to be used. So today, how the employee is using your computer. 10 years back, the same computer, how it was used. After 10 years, how they will use. So the analytics uh, is varied from the period. Okay, so for the long, over the long period, how it is being used. So if one employee, or for each employee, that what is the activity, what they have done. So a lot of research over there. So you can apply the machine learning approach to monitor the employees' activities. The okay, what they are doing in the computer. Employment practices and policies for defining, for recruiting, for serving the employee. Okay, for example, if one employee is joining, what is the procedure? Okay, how should treat the employee while joining, while resigning, how should be treated. Okay, so for those also you have to train, you have to prepare the policies. Operations security protection control. It's a general protection control in the every organization. Okay, so where should the fireproof should be there, where your the uh, uh, remote operations, where should be there. Okay, so you have to fix the facility, which the firewall. For example, the firewall should be, where should be the firewall. This is not a physical. This is not a logical one. It's a fire protection system. Okay, so the complete physical protection is figured out in this diagram. Email and internet use policy. How to use the email in the organization. For that, you are defining the policies, access policy. Okay, protect your organization, exposure to rug software, legal action, and loss of corporate personal data. So if any links is coming from outside, should not be clicked. For that, you have to train your model. Okay, so the email should be monitored, the email should be uh, accessed properly. Implementing a security awareness program. So everywhere the security awareness program are there. That is the program should accept all the activities. Okay, all the activities of the employees and policy. Okay, so based on the policies, you have to implement the security awareness program. And security awareness program mainly identify and understanding your audience on the you have to understand. Then identifying high risk and desired behaviors, identifying the solution to facilitate the behavioral changes, creating the security awareness metrics, okay, materials. So to deliver the security awareness program, you have to collect the metrics from various resources. Okay, so up to this, the physical security awareness. Now coming to the application security, you have a variety of security mechanisms are there. It's application security. JWT is the authentication mechanism between the client and server. Okay. Now imagine that could you able to, it's a two-party authentication. Could you able to implement the three-party, four-party? Okay. So when you have multiple parties, how do you authenticate the system? See here, a client that clients usually cannot be authenticated without producing any tokens. Okay. So the client will provide the username and password credentials to the server. The server should create the JWT to token. So the token length will be 1024 or 512 bits. The tokens will be given to the client. Then the same token should be send it back to the server. Then only the server will be authenticated. So this is the two-party authentication. Can you make it into more stronger than this? So you just think about the machine learning approach and the blockchain technology for replacing the JWT to JWT authentication. Now the another technology architecture for authentication, Kerberos. This already you have everybody studied in the computer science. The three-way uh, third-party key distribution center is coming into the picture. Okay, so instead of connecting, authenticating the server directly, you have a key distribution center. So in the key distribution center, there are two servers: authentication server and ticket granting server. So server will should have a registration register with the ticket granting server. Client is also should have the client also should have the registration at the ticket granting server. Okay, to connect the client to connect the server directly, instead of connecting the server directly, the client should initiate the connection to the authentication server, and it will provide the tokens. With that tokens, you have to approach the another token, another ticket. So ticket granting server will provide the tickets to the client. The same process also given to the server also. Okay, the server also should get the ticket from the ticket granting server. So the same ticket, with the same ticket, the whatever the ticket is generated by the ticket granting server, with the same ticket, the client should ask the should give the ticket and ask the ask the authentication. Okay, then only the server will authenticate. So here in the previous one, there is a load. Okay, authentication is done by the server, but here some of the first functionality is separated, so overload is reduced. Here third party is coming into the picture for providing the authentication. Okay, and here username is passwords are involved. but here there is no username passwords are involved. Here only the token, the ticket is used for authentication. Okay, so how it is being created, established: key tab files, Kerberos tokens. What is the role of the key tab file? So with the key tab file, uh, with the use of key tab file only, the authentication is made. Okay, there is no password. In place of password, the key tab file is playing. So that is why I'm telling. Key generation, how the token generation is done. The Spring Boot is helping to create a token. So it's all example. Okay. So far I have covered the security enhancement via machine learning and blockchain techniques, and I have explained some applications that are being used currently in the IT side, as well as for the students. You can create how to create the blockchain network in your own system. Okay, so I have demonstrated some example in the Spring Boot side, how to create a multiple server, how to create a hash code connectivity between the two entities, and how to create a database on its own. So the overall idea I have given for creating um, the blockchain network. Okay, if you have any doubts, you ask me. Faculty, students, researchers, if you have any doubts, then we will discuss. Okay.
For the application, it is same for all the. For example, if you are developing for mobile application and web application, lot of application, the security will be same or difference will be there in the IT industry.
Anand, your voice is breaking. I'm not able to hear your voice. I think your network problem.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. Actually, in the IT industry, we are developing for different types of application. How
Yes.
you can set the threshold value? For example, in the security perspective, you can set the threshold value 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How you can set that kind of security policy in the IT industry applications?
Yeah, it depends on the variety of inputs gathered by the metrics. Okay, so all the metrics are accepted and processed and analyzed by the machine learning approach. So that should be through the machine learning approach, we will set the threshold value. So I don't know. Whatever you asked, it's a kind of research oriented questions. The security measures and all used for the access control. Okay, so whatever the current technology uses the security measures, so the same thing the industry also is uses, but in detail, uh, but only the programmers or the applications is having the measures. So whatever you asked, it's a kind of research related questions. I don't have any experience by setting the measures, the threshold measures for providing the security. Some measures will be there. Okay, so it's a as per the standard they fixed.
Okay. Thank you, Ruzo.
Students, any questions?
Any question? Participants? Any questions? Participants?
Sir, good morning, sir. I have one question.
Yeah.
This is Bhaskar.
Yes, yes.
Sir, how we can apply this blockchain security application in the crowdsourcing systems, sir? Crowdsourcing systems.
Yeah.
That is distributed systems.
Yeah, good question. So practically, there is a tool. I don't know which tool is being used for creating the blockchain technology, but we need a distributed architecture. There will be a tool. I don't know that tool. To create a blockchain network, we need a tool. But mechanism we have studied. So through which principle, which mechanism it works. So there is a connectivity between the systems. Okay, so that is a linked. Okay, so as we seen in the session presentation, there is a connectivity linked between two applications. Okay, so in the form of hash connectivity. Okay, so the hash to use of the hash connectivity, the one is connected. Okay, so someone is sending, other than the basic private key, public key,
Thank you,
SHA
sir.
algorithm, any algorithm is developed for blockchain security. No, as of now, this is the private key, public key is the best one. So through that only the connectivity is being established. Okay, so it's a logical arrangement. It's not a physical arrangement. Logical arrangement between the two process. Okay, it's a good question actually. So I didn't find out any tool. So if I come to know, I'll tell you which tool is is used to create the infrastructure. Okay, the blockchain technology infrastructure. But basically, the philosophy is connecting one resource or one database to another database. You need the private key, public key, the algorithm, SHA algorithm, hash code algorithm.
Any other question? Participants? Okay. Thank you, Ruzo, for your wonderful session. For our participant getting benefited your real-time practical experience in the blockchain-based security application. Once again, I thank you for our accepting our invitation and also your wonderful practical session. Thank you, Ruzo.
Thank you all. Thank you, students.
Thank you.
Faculty members. Thank you.